Halt the common man was how he wished for people to think of him, but what he was known as most commonly was Halt the Traveller. Fortunately, this was also fine. He was a tall, muscular man, though more lean than bulky. His hair was a very dark brown, almost black. This was the case for his eyebrows, eyes, and thick stubble too. His average day consisted of riding on and on and on into the beyond. His horse Thella, a name neither rich nor poor, was a great companion, faithful, cunning, scared of very little. She had great stamina, which was fortunate as she was the traveller's partner, destined to cross many lands of many kinds. They had travelled far on this cold day, and after leaving what few people knew as the vast forest, the largest forest upon Leal, behind them, Thella had broken into a canter. The final sprint is where we will now join them. Up ahead was a village that appeared to possibly be mostly made of huts. All Halt could see was vast green and grey land, cold and wet. Only in places did a little amount of snow lie on the ground. Mountains grew tall in the misty distance, creatures prowled unseen, few birds flew above looking over the land below with watchful eyes. Halt pulled on the reins and slowed Thella down as they drew closer to the village. The soft brown-haired horse happily slowed and trotted forth. The travelling partners entered the village. They passed stone-walled hut after stone-walled hut. The locals watched them curiously, but politely as they passed, the sight of a stranger not being completely bizarre. And when Halt finally spotted the stone-walled inn, the first place not designed as a hut, he dismounted, took the two large bags off of the horse, and made his way to the front door, not needing to tie up Thella before entering. She would wait for him, able to defend herself. The innkeeper, an old, round, grey and long-haired dwarf, stood upon a step-ladder behind the bar, peering at the stranger as the stranger walked closer, eyeing the place all around. Grent, the dwarf, couldn't decide whether he looked like bad news or not. He was tall and broad and wearing a big, heavy, dark grey coat which made him look even broader. His hair was short and messy, as was his facial hair. His grey trousers were dirty, as were his big black boots and the long black scabbard hanging at his side, mostly able to be seen. He is certainly a traveller, thought Grant. Before Halt reached the bar, he had already seen the room and the entirety of its contents. Nothing to fear, no need to worry, a safe place at the moment. The only thing that caught his gaze and his intrigue was a woman sitting alone in a corner wearing an enchanting, deep, dark green cloak. Her hair was long and dark silver. It was beautiful. He had rarely seen hair like it in the 27 years he had lived. But a strange thing happened when their eyes had met. She had shifted as if about to bolt, but when the new face turned away, she quickly settled again. "Greetings, traveller," said the dwarf with a low voice. "Good day to you," replied Halt, nodding and smiling. "What can I do for you?" "Do you have a spare room for one night, maybe 2 nights?" "We do. We're not exactly in the busiest of locations. We get a few travellers like yourself who stay for a night or two, then move on, and I expect a runaway or two, though I think those end up staying here permanently. In fact, I reckon most of the village is populated by runaways." "It is likely," Halt agreed. "It would be a good place for them." Grant nodded. "Let me get you your key." He did this, and then gestured to the stairwell, saying, "The keys and doors have numbers on them. It's just engraved in the key there." He gestured. "You won't need any help finding it." "Thank you," said the traveller. "And is there space in the stables?" "There is. Just take the beast around the back and you'll see." Halt nodded. "I'll be back for a drink," he said. He walked towards the exit, bags in hand, beneath thick, dark wooden beams. She was looking out of the window, the pale light shining upon her fair skin. Once outside, he began to lead Thella towards the stables, and when walking past the window on his left, he glanced in, and at the same time, a raven landed on his padded left shoulder. The silver-haired woman's eyes suddenly widened as they met the stranger's eyes, and then saw the raven. A white mist suddenly filled Halt's vision. It was the most bizarre thing. He rubbed his eyes and then looked back through the window. She had vanished, nowhere to be seen. The traveller jogged around the side of the building, Thella by his side. The woman had not come out of the back exit. Still, she was nowhere to be seen. Halt rubbed his eyes again. Was his mind messing with him once more?